Safe and reliable road infrastructure is absolutely essential for a prosperous community, and we know that here in Washington County. That's why we put together a plan for the next 30 years and fully funded it without raising taxes to make sure that your commute is safe and reliable.
So the goal was to create a plan that the county could utilize to look at its roadways currently to see which roads we should actually repave and which ones we could reconstruct. What made this project unique to Washington County in the 2050 plan was that we're able to incorporate not only the roadway data, but also ancillary data to that with intersection safety, as well as making sure we had the funding possible to make sure those roadways were funded all the way into the future. Not just a simple 5-year plan or 8-year plan, but also a plan to extend it out 30 years over the life cycle of the roadway. One of the most precious resources we have in Washington County is the funding from the taxpayers. We want to make sure we're using that effectively and efficiently in a manner that is in their best interest. The people depend on the roadways for a multitude of things. Obviously, they got to get to work. They've got to get their children to school. They got to get their garbage picked up, their mail delivered. So it's just very important that the roadways are maintained properly. So how we look at the intersection improvements and safety improvements on our roadways, look at data. We actually did an intersection safety analysis. So that helps us determine, should we be putting in a 4-way stop? Should we be putting in a roundabout? Should we have lights at the intersection? So we actually look at see what should we do to make those safety improvements out there.
Our highway department routinely looks at intersection safety too. There was an intersection, a county highway and 2 state highways came together, and so it was a dangerous intersection. An engineering firm for us came up with a design where we actually would have carried one of the roads right through a field. However, it would have cost about 10 acres of farmland, and the local neighbors weren't real crazy about that, and they live there, so it affects them. I think it's what we need to do is listen to the people. They came up with, I think, 6 different options. Those 6 options were then looked at by our engineers that kind of vetted out what would work and what wouldn't work, and I think we came down with 4 at the end, and then our Public Works Committee voted, and it's a source of pride for me. I'm proud to be the county that has this system and nobody else does.
I'm also very proud of the fact that we were able to do this as one of the first plans of its kind in the state of Wisconsin, and utilizing it for not just Washington County, but also our local municipalities. We're actually super excited about the pilot programs we're able to do for the municipalities. So we're able to do 2050 plans for the city of West Bend and the village of Boston. The application is built up not only just for a larger county, but also smaller towns, as well as large municipalities like villages or cities. So let's make sure that we actually made this plan available to anyone that could possibly utilize it in the state of Wisconsin.
The 2050 transportation plan helps us make the best financial decision possible for our road system and the utilities underneath. There's a system inside of it where we can plug in different numbers for our financials, and what the 2050 plan does that our plan didn't do in the past was it's able to just prioritize those things for us. So in that sense, it helps us get our biggest bang for our dollar when we're doing our street plans. It's important that we're being responsible with the taxpayers' money, and this plan helps us do so.
I think it's our duty in our Washington County to make all of our roads safer, not just the county highways, but the local roadways as well. And making sure it's not just a county plan, but actually a county-wide plan. Take a look to see what actually we're doing in your neighborhood to make the roads safer and sustainable long-term.